carrying out parallel repairs or the overhauls at this place also. So what we are looking at the PSU, we are looking at Army Base Workshop, and if there is an industry which is ready to come forward and help us out, we will be surely ready to reach out to them and give them the contract also. But I can just assure you it does not affect in any way our operation efficiency, because we take this corrective action at the right point of time. It does not mean that the equipment is not usable in that particular time. As far as the quality is concerned, I do not have any reports of any quality. Some infirmities can always be there, which is something the corrections will take place, which is acceptable to us. Time slippages are there, yes, I agree with you, and we are taking corrective actions towards that side. Moving ahead, I think all three answered?
All three have been answered.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, we are nearing the end. Probably we have got 3 more minutes. We'll take probably one question or two. Okay, one set. We can have 96, 88 and 165.
Sir, 183. 108.
Okay, we'll come to that, ma'am.
96, where is 96?
96. Yes,
Yeah.
please ask.
सर, टेस्ट मोहन शर्मा, भारत एक्सप्रेस से। सिंदूर से ज़्यादा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पूरे देश में फेमस हो गया और हर बच्चा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की बात करता है। मैं सिर्फ एक चीज़ जानना चाहता हूं कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की सफलता में टर्निंग पॉइंट क्या था हमारे लिए?
ओके, 88. या ऊपर दीजिए।
सर, शिखा ठाकुर फ्रॉम भारत 24। सर, हमने देखा है कि नैरेटिव्स की लड़ाई हो रही है और एक तरफ बॉर्डर पे वॉर चल रहा है, दूसरी तरफ हेडलाइंस और हैशटैग्स में। अभी एशियन रिपोर्ट्स ने एक न्यूज़ पब्लिश की है जिसमें उन्होंने कहा कि चाइनीज़ एयरक्राफ्ट J-10 उसको ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के खिलाफ सक्सेसफुली एम्प्लॉय किया गया। इस तरीके की जो नैरेटिव्स है सर, जो सोशल प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर है, उसको कैसे हम केटर कर सकते हैं?
ओके, लास्ट वन, 165.
So Bipindra here, sir. I'm an independent journalist. So you talked a lot about the northern front, sir. There is one thing that I wanted to ask you about the northern front, which is in October 2024 when the agreement was signed for disengagement. There were also 2 more steps that were to be done, which is disengagement and de-induction. 3-step process was to be maintained. At what process? Currently this LAC disengagement exists at this point in time. And also, sir, world over we are seeing that the conflict is drone driven. Basically, the drones are sort of shaping the battlefield, effects that happen. And air littoral is becoming a very important space, and control of air littoral is also a big question mark as far as the Indian force structures are concerned. So would you throw some light on what is the thinking of the army on the air littoral control and command and control structures?
So 88 भारत 24। आपने पूछा था कि ये जो बहुत सारी खबरें आ रही हैं सोशल मीडिया में, इसको आप काउंटर कैसे करते हैं। जहाँ तक ये सवाल है, सबसे बड़ी चीज़ ये है कि बहुत सारी चीज़ों पे अगर आप ना भी रिएक्ट करें तो भी चल जाएगा, क्योंकि वो सोशल मीडिया पे ही रह जाएंगी। तो क्या होता है, प्रोफेशनल्स जो हैं इस चीज़ पे बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान देते नहीं हैं। लेकिन अगर किसी चीज़ में सच्चाई है, अगर उसमें कुछ सच है, तो उसको हम फिर डिटेल में इन्वेस्टिगेट करेंगे, आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, उसके काउंटर एक्शंस लेंगे। बट आज की तारीख पे ये जो साइकोलॉजिकल चलता है, ये इसको हम बोलते हैं सोशल मीडिया वॉरियर्स। इन वॉरियर्स के बीच में ही जो बिना तलवार के लड़ते हैं, वो बिना तलवार की लड़ाई वहीं पे सीमित रहे तो अच्छा है। काउंटर के लिए जो कार्रवाई थी उसके बारे में मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया, बहुत कुछ कार्रवाई हम कर रहे हैं और आगे आने वाले दिनों में करेंगे ही। जहाँ भी आपको डाउट होता है, आप हमारे सोशल मीडिया हैंडल पे या ADG स्ट्रैटकॉम को ट्वीट करके भेजिए, वो ज़रूर उसका जवाब देंगे और आपको सही चीज़ बताएंगे। रही बात हमारे अक्टूबर 24 का, आपने पूछा डिसएंगेजमेंट और डीएस्केलेशन के बारे में आपको क्या कहना है। तो जहाँ तक डिसएंगेजमेंट का सवाल है, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि जो 21 अक्टूबर को जो हमने आपस में एग्रीमेंट किया था, उसके तहत जो भी कार्रवाई करनी थी वो हमने कंप्लीट कर ली है। अभी बात आती है कि इसको आगे कैसे बढ़ाया जाए। तो इसको आगे बढ़ाने के लिए जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि WMCC है, आपने So as we already know that the WMCC is there, we have the specialist representative group which is their special representative, and of course the channels which are open in terms of various ministries. So as a result, what has happened, these expert groups and the working groups have been made. Now we are waiting for the outcome of this expert group and working groups. As these expert groups and working group arrive at a particular logical synergistic solution, we will start kind of executing them on ground. So we are just awaiting those kind of instructions. This will take some time, and we are ready to wait. The second question which you had is drone and air littoral. So like I told you that 97% of the airspace as far as the air littoral is concerned is being used by the Indian Army. Therefore, it is mandatory for the Indian Army to look at how to control that. What we have done that we have UCC. And this UCC, this control center which is there, Unified Control Center, we are keeping at the division level. Now, this Unified Control Center, which is the division level, is not only kind of coordinating the drones which military is using it, that is the Army, Navy, Air Force. It is also looking at which is being used by the CAPF. Is it also looking at the drones which is being used by the drone Didis? It is also looking at the drones which is being flown for the agriculture purposes, and also for reconnaissance, or even for the medical, or even, let's say, Amazon and others which are flying the drones. So during the conventional operations or during the heightened gray zone, this UCC will come into play. But this UCC is not independent. That is working out with the core headquarter, and core headquarter JATC is integrated with the Air Force ISCCS through Akashtir. So everything is integrated, and that's why UCC is working based on a format called as Saksham. And as we go higher, there are already various AI tools which are there. So all these are at a nascent stage for the time being. As they mature, we will see which is the software which is best suited for us, which has got more integrity in terms of being produced in-house, which is scalable. So based on this, those softwares will be utilized, and artificial intelligence from generative will become agentic at later stage.
With this, we come to the end of the question and answer
there's
session.
a turning point. I think who was this turning point? Yeah. आपने पूछा कि ऑप सिंदूर में टर्निंग पॉइंट क्या था. मेरे हिसाब से टर्निंग पॉइंट जो था, दो स्टेज पे देखना चाहिए आपको. सबसे पहले टर्निंग पॉइंट तो ये था जो 22 मिनट की हमारी जो हमने टेरर टारगेट्स पे जो स्ट्राइक की थी, उस 22 मिनट से सबसे पहले तो क्या हुआ था कि जो उनका डिसीजन मेकिंग साइकिल था अपोजिट साइड का, वो बिल्कुल हिल गया था. एंड उन्हें वक्त लगा समझने में. एंड चूंकि वक्त लगा तो जिसके हाथ में जो आया, किसने पत्थर फेंकना शुरू कर दिया, किसी ने ड्रोन, किसी ने मिसाइल, तो अफरा तफरी ऐसी मची हुई थी उस तरफ कि उनको समझ में नहीं आया क्या कार्रवाई हो रही है. और ये जो मिस मैनेजमेंट उस तरफ से हुआ था, उसको हमने कैलिब्रेटेड रिस्पॉन्स दिया, ताकि हम लड़ाई को आगे नहीं बढ़ाना चाहते थे, क्योंकि हमारा जो पॉलिटिको मिलिट्री एम था वो हमने पा लिया था. दूसरा जो टर्निंग पॉइंट था, जो मैं शायद यहाँ पे खुले में ना बता पाऊँ, बट 10 तारीख को सवेरे कुछ ऐसे निर्देश तीनों सेनाओं को दे दिए गए थे कि अगर ये लड़ाई आगे बढ़ती तो इसमें क्या होना था, वो जिसको समझ में आना था उसकी समझ में आ चुका था. तो चूंकि उसके समझ में आ चुका था, इसीलिए फिर जैसे कि 9:30 के आसपास हमारे डीजीएम उस टाइम घई साहब थे, वो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, और उस चीज़ को मद्देनजर रखते हुए, उस चीज़ को समझते हुए, क्यों उनके पास सेटेलाइट से एक पूरी खबर थी कि कौन सा शिप, कौन सा स्ट्राइक कोर या पिवेट कोर या कौन सा एयरक्राफ्ट कहाँ मूव कर रहा है. इस सारी खबर को जब उन्होंने, जिसको हम बोलते कनेक्टिंग द डॉट्स, जब उन्होंने डॉट्स कनेक्ट किए तो उन्होंने बोला अभी समय आ गया है, इस लड़ाई को यहाँ पे रोकना उचित होगा, उनके लिए फायदेमंद होगा.
Thank you. So we shall finish the question and answer session here, sir. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for the support and cooperation. Those who have not been able to ask questions, I am sure many of you would want to ask. The Chief of Army Staff will be there with you post this session as we go and speak to the Chief there and clear your questions there.
Can I overrule you?
Yes, sir.
Can I overrule you?
Yes, sir. The Chief can overrule.
Thank you for overruling. 108 here and 160 here.
Thank you, sir.
Women empowerment.
Thank you very much, sir. So the lady gets the last word, also.
All right,
Sir.
ma'am, can you just hold? So we'll start
You
with
start with the veteran, that's
154. 154. Then the two ladies can have the last word.
Sir, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Umang Kohli. Served under your command also when you were the Northern Army Commander, sir, in the IW. I work for India Strategic. I'm the executive editor. Sir, my question to you is, we are seeing that the rocket forces, Russia has decided to raise a rocket force just like China. And there is a lot of buzz about the rocket force being raised. Do we think that now is the time that we should have a separate rocket force as well? And secondly, sir, we've been having the GDP, it's connected, sir.
Okay,
GDP is 1.9%, defense budget is 1.9% of the GDP. What would be your wish list? What figure would you put if you had to, sir? Thank you so much.
Yes, please, ma'am.
So this is Sangeeta Saxena, Editor, Aviation and Defence Universal. Sir, just one question. We had talked so much about transformation and reform. So when will we be able to tell our granddaughters, my granddaughter, that yes, you will be join the army, beta, you will command 1 paras, 9 paras, 7 paras. So when do we get women into the infantry, sir?
Okay,
160.
yes, please, udhar dijiye.
160.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations on your Army Day. This is Neelam Matthews from Shepherd Media of the UK. Sir, what's the biggest gap in procurement that you would like to fill at the moment? Could it perhaps be space assets? Thank you.
Come again, sorry?
What is the biggest gap in procurement that you would like to fill ASAP? And could it be space assets by any chance? Thank you.
This way will not be able to end today, but knowing the chief, this is the last one. I'll request both of you to please hold on.
Okay, I think there are three.
I'll request both of you to, otherwise we'll not never end.
So what we'll do, these
For the lunch and ask your questions.
Okay. So I'll take on as far as the first question, 160, what you've asked is, Ms. Matthew, the gap which is there, and could it be space assets also? So as far as the gaps are concerned, what is the maximum gap if you're looking at the technology imbibement in whatever equipment we have and networking of all this equipment what we have. That's why if your backbone and architecture is not there, every equipment which is working in isolation. It is not giving me the mass effect. It is massing itself but not giving the mass effect. Therefore, it is important for me to network everything and introduce artificial intelligence at the earliest by providing the data connectivity and making sure this data is central as well as it has redundancy by virtue of Edge Data Center, which we have now inaugurated at the core level, which Raksha Mantri ji inaugurated in October. So my priority is artificial intelligence and data centricity. And for that, it is something which I will be able to get from the acquisition, something for the manpower upgradation, and thirdly, the expertise which is lying in the civil domain as of now. Because AI, networking and data centricity is a dual use thing. So I must accept what is best in the civil market, take it, absorb it, and introduce it. This is what is the main thing. As far as space is concerned, yes, the gaps are there. And that's why we are looking at the commercial satellites also. And as you are aware, that very, very good private players have come to the fore today, and they're offering their services. So once the DAP gets approved, definitely we'll be able to have a long-term strategic partnership with these players to make sure that we should be able to get the space visibility the way we are looking at. And we should be working towards that. What is important is that the technological advancement is so fast that a normal equipment platform production and technological production cannot be considered on the same scale or the same pace. Therefore, we need a different kind of a pipeline for acquisition of this. This we are working in this DAP. The second question is women into 4 para and 10 para. So we have the Colonel of the regiment sitting here. And definitely after this, he will sit with you for the lunch and decide on the kind of parameters how to go about it. But what we need to see that if the standards are same, if the capability is same, and if the India as a nation, society is ready to accept, it can be done tomorrow. I have said earlier also, Kali Mata ka roop. Women cannot be seen as a vulnerable commodity. It has to be strong enough. So, if we look at our society as of today, the society still has got girls' schools, particular kind. As the army is concerned, army is looking at not gender equality, army is looking at gender neutrality. But today, I am not able to ensure gender neutrality because there are medical authorities which do not allow me, and the team of composition where the females also, they say, no sir, presently it's not possible. I'll give you the example of CPT 26 which I was talking about. I was wanting the standards to be same, but I have not been able to make sure because there has been no positive indications from those females who are serving also. So now what I am doing, I am having this super excellent column. So in 3 to 4 years, I will get to know how many female officers and the other ranks are able to reach that level. If they're able to reach that level, definitely we will open up firstly the supporting arms which are not open, and then the arms, and then of course the special forces. So it's a social change, it's a sequential change, it is a welcome change. But it is gender neutral. Now the third question was rocket force and GDP. So as far as the rocket force is concerned, you had asked. As far as the rocket force concerned, yes, like I said, it is a requirement. Rather, I'll call it rocket cum missile force because you have to mix of both. Now what you have said, this rocket force is required at the level of what? Is it required to be at the army level, or it's required directly at the level of MOD or at the CDS level? This is the question which you need to decide. I'll give you the example. As of today, for example, let's say we are raising under artillery. Tomorrow, as the requirement increases and we carry out the accretion, if you see how we went about the army air defense, initially it was under artillery, carried out the complete training and development under artillery. After that, when it became unmanageable under the artillery, it went as a different line directorate. Similarly, as far as the rocket force is concerned, initially it will be under the let's say artillery. As and when it increases, based on the size, scope and the command control, this will see a different avatar. So it's too early to say that how these timelines will come up, because the acquisition pattern will tell us how strong this force will be in what time frame, and then we will take a decision on that. All three answered?
Yes, all three.
Yeah,
the GDP question, the chief has already answered earlier. He is already cleared that how there is no change that we need. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support and cooperation. May I request you to remain seated while the Chief Army Staff and the senior officers leave the hall.
And through you to every citizen of the country, as we also mark the auspicious occasion of Lodi Festival, Veterans Day, in connecting the Indian Army with the nation. Your responsible and accurate reporting strengthens public trust and helps present the Army's work in its true perspective. Of course, Op Sindoor was a witness to both, that is the patriotism and over-enthusiasm. So the past year saw a sharp rise in the number and intensity of armed conflicts worldwide. These global shifts underline a simple reality.